Let's continue with race number 2 from the Secureum Bootcamp. So in this race, it is all about a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization contract. And within this DAO, we are to assume that there is functionality for opening the DAO for memberships, for allowing users to join as members by depositing a membership fee, for creating proposals for voting, for casting votes, and etc. And as I said, we are to assume that this and all the other functionality that is not shown or represented by dots is implemented correctly. So if you look at the actual code, we mostly see just function definitions without not much of a body, not much of a function body for each of the functions within the Secureum DAO. But what you can also see is that it uses two contracts from the Open Zeppelin contracts package, which is the pausable contract and the re-entrancy guard. So let's start by looking at the first question. Based on the comments and code shown in the Secureum DAO snippet, A. DAO is meant to be opened only by the admin by making an ether deposit to the contract. B. DAO can be opened by anyone by making an ether deposit to the contract. C. DAO requires an exact amount of membership fee to join DAO. So the first two are both about opening the DAO to memberships, to people signing up as members to the DAO. So let's take a look at what we have about opening the DAO. So for one, we have a modifier which is called only when open. And this modifier will revert unless the balance of the DAO is larger than 0. And if the balance of the DAO is not larger than 0, it will revert with this DAO is closed. So indeed, someone has to add a ether balance to this contract for it to be considered open. And then we have another function which is called openDAO, which is callable by only the admin. So this indicates that the intention was indeed that only admins were supposed to be able to open the DAO. This openDAO function is payable because to open DAO you have to actually send in some value. And it says here admin is expected to open DAO by making a notional deposit. So based on that, we can indeed say that the DAO is meant to be opened only by the admin by making an ether deposit to the contract. That is definitely the intention here. But B says DAO can be opened by anyone by making an ether deposit to the contract. And that's indeed true, because as we already heard in previous races, we can inject value into contracts, for example, by using self-destruct. We can self-destruct another contract that holds ether balance, and when we self-destruct a contract, we can specify where this contract should send its ether balance, basically. And the difference between a normal ether transfer and a self-destruct is that there is no way for the receiver to stop receiving this value. Just because you don't have a fallback or you don't have a receive function, it's not going to stop self-destruct from sending you this value, because self-destruct does not actually execute the fallback or receive functions to give you the choice of whether you want to receive it or not. And based on that, anyone can at any time always inject a ether balance into your contract, and therefore anyone can also open this DAO, because the modifier that determines whether the DAO is currently open or not, the modifier says if the balance of the ether balance is bigger than 0, then it's open. We can inject it, we can inject ether balance through self-destruct, and therefore anyone can do this, so anyone can open the DAO. So B is also true, anyone can open it. And then C, DAO requires an exact payment of membership fee to join the DAO. So we have a join function here, which is external payable. We can see that there's indeed a require statement that says that the message value sent to this function needs to be exactly equal to a membership variable, otherwise it will revert. And if we look at this membership variable, it is indeed a variable that is set to 1000 at the moment. So we can also say that C is correct, because indeed a exact payment is required of membership fee to join the DAO. So A, B, and C are all correct for question 1.